Hey everybody, welcome back to the Next Generation podcast. So, I'm coming to you guys today with just something that has been, lingering in my mind for a while now, and I kind of forgot about it, and then somebody actually woke up that thought for me. So, someone by the name or username of Susan Nicholson had commented under my video entitled Jordan, Gavin, Wade, and James, What Sets Them Apart? So Susan said, I'm going to read her comment. Hey, Susan. So Susan says, he didn't have time to get married, so he wouldn't have had time for them boys, and he didn't know the four of them. I've never saw them in the videos. Seen not even in Neverland. So I think she's saying like she doesn't really know much of the accusers and that they haven't really been seen. So I was born after the 93 allegations. So I know of Jordan, and I know of Gavin, obviously because of the negativity. I did watch the Living with Michael Jackson special, and I did see Gavin there. And then, that whole thing blew up, and then that was that. So what thought was woken up with this comment was the fact of not knowing the accusers. Wade and James to me are very interesting characters. They're an interesting set of accusers because as somebody who is a Michael Jackson fan, and I was just so hardcore growing up because I wanted to know more and more and more about the person that I was listening to and who I adore. I don't remember seeing them before 2013. In terms of, I don't remember them being of any importance. And I don't want to say it's because they're not celebrities, because like we've heard of Ryan White, who actually wasn't a celebrity, but a child that Michael helped. We heard about Bella Farkas, who was a child that Michael helped find a liver, if I'm not mistaken. We've heard about quite a few kids. They may not have hung out with Michael every day, but there were notable names of children that came up in the topic of Michael Jackson that were positive. But the thing that I find really funny is that I can speak for myself, so I'm not going to say we, but I haven't heard anything about Wade or James up until 2013. I didn't even know who they were. I found out that Wade actually testified for Michael. And we didn't find out. I honestly knew nothing about James up until maybe like a year or two ago. And we still don't know much, and that's the thing about why James isn't spoken of so much, is because it's almost like, I don't want to say he didn't exist, but it's almost he's playing up his presence, or the presence that he had in Michael's life. I don't really feel like it was I really feel like they're putting 20 on 10. I honestly, I really Like, I'm not saying that he wasn't around. That's not the argument. I just feel like, well, why isn't that the fans really know of them up until now? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we're supposed to know every child that goes into Neverland, but the way that they were making it seem is like, you should know who I am. And we don't. We know who Wade is because obviously he worked to make a name for himself, you know, doing different things, but I honestly didn't know the extent of the relationship that he had. I didn't even know he had a relationship. Up until I didn't even know who Wade was. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't even know who he was, and I feel like there are a lot of people that can agree with me on that, is that we did not know who these two jokers were. And as much as you claim to have been around, why isn't there more evidence of that? Why isn't there way more pictures? Why isn't, like, I'm confused. Like, you're claiming to have spent this many times at Neverland at a time, yet, like, where are the photographs? Where are the photographs? And I really don't think that they were there as much as they claim to be. I think that the relationship that they're making up, that they had with Michael, they're just exaggerating when it comes to, oh, we were there this amount of times and that amount of times, and you could have been there, but Michael was not there. I don't think Michael would have said, no, you can't come to my home. If I'm not mistaken, it was said that they were at Neverland like, they spent more time without Michael at Neverland than they did with Michael. And this is another thing that we got to mention too, that also that, is her name Susan? I'm sorry, Susan. Yes, Susan, she mentioned that he didn't have time. When exactly did he have time to be parading around with these kids the way that people are saying? Was he not coming up with new songs? Coming out with, how many songs Michael said that he's come up with per album? We know it's 3-4 times the amount that actually makes it to the actual cut, like to the actual album. So when is he having all of this time to be hanging out with these kids? When he's too busy practicing, doing concerts. I really don't, I don't see it happening. And the fact that, like, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, he was with all of these kids. Not even kids, these boys, he was with them all the time. It's like, okay, but, like, why weren't you guys saying this before? Where was this before? It's not until somebody says something. Where was this before? I don't know, guys. They're playing it up too much. Too much. I don't know, y'all. My mind is just in circles right now. I'm thinking a lot. It's always when I start recording, my brain is just like running on like overdrive, just thinking about and trying to connect the dots and put the puzzle pieces together. This thing is a joke, y'all. That's all I have to say. Leave your comments. Yeah, so until next time, see you later.